What is up, people? This is the Hip Pause Podcast, the podcast where we watch YouTube so you don't have to. You're here with your hosts. I was so smooth up to that point.
Hog host.
Host?
Hulk Hogan.
David over here.
David, that's me.
And you got your boy, Iman.
Nice.
Today, what are we talking about, David?
We're going to talk about our lives. We're going to talk about what we've been watching this week. And kind of like going into YouTube since we first watched it till now.
We're taking a trip back in time to the YouTube of old.
I've never watched Back to the Future, but I assume that this is what it was about.
It's exactly the plot.
Yeah.
It's bang on, the plot.
An old guy goes back and he sees his son.
It's just
and he goes in a car because that's the best way to watch it.
The first 30 minutes are just a guy scrolling back in time down the list of YouTube videos till he gets to the beginning.
Oh man, that's a good movie.
Then they get in the car, then they watch the oldest YouTube videos available.
Nice. See, now I'm gonna watch it. Why did they make a sequel?
Yeah, exactly. The second oldest YouTube video.
Cool. So this week, it's been a busy week.
Wait, let me summarize what we're doing. So we're doing our week, old stuff. Old YouTube versus new YouTube. We got a bit of news for you, though, as well. Yeah. I know you kind of summarized it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they came for news, so we got a bit for them as well.
Yeah, don't worry. The people are here for news.
We got you covered.
We got you.
But yeah, so this week's been busy. I know it's probably been busy for both of us. But I haven't managed to get, a lot of new people on my history list. But so I've been watching. It's sad that everything can kind of get related to Logan Paul. But I've been watching... videos from a guy called Mark Doa or Mike Donna. Oh, it's hard to pronounce his surname, but he's a friend and ex-Viner, I guess, of Logan, and he has now moved with a guy called George Janko near Logan Paul, probably 5 minutes away. And I've just been watching their first home video. And, just kind of in that mindset of house buying. So it was nice to see people excited about their first house.
Oh, I think I saw a thumbnail about this. Like they moved in next door or something.
Yeah, they say next door, but they're not next door.
Okay. Yeah. They're same city.
You got to have a clickbait.
Yeah. Always be clickbaiting.
Yeah. It's nice to... New homes, new beginnings are always cool. So he's moving in with his girlfriend, and then got George, another friend of Logan, and a Viner, who's going to be the third wheel. I've been in that situation, if you're listening, Katie.
Yeah. Have you seen this guy before?
I've seen him in Logan's videos. I've never seen him on his own channel.
Oh, right. What's his content like?
You know what? It's so weird. I don't want to say Logan and Jake are like a benchmark for vlogging, but when you watch other people do it in their style, it's never that good. It's it's more dull. It's more not that it's awkward on camera, but they're just more human, which makes it less entertaining.
Yeah, okay.
So watching it's not exciting.
The thing is, whatever you say about Jake and Logan Paul, whether or not you like them, they are good at making vlogs. And they're good at getting views.
Yeah.
They know it's clickbait. We know it's clickbait, but they get views and they make their vlogs well.
Yeah, they make it in a way that it'll catch your eye.
Production quality has never been their thing. I mean, even the video in the suicide forest was well filmed.
Oh yeah. Good audio. I don't know about you, but that was good audio.
Great audio on that dead body. Anyways, moving on.
But yeah, just been watching a lot of music videos now. I know that's just me. I don't really have Spotify, so I got a YouTube for music.
What a noob.
Yeah, one day we'll be sponsored by them and then I can actually use it. But yeah, so just a lot of music videos.
Spotify is still the one platform where this podcast is not available.
What? Oh,
yeah, they have got some annoying processes to get podcasts on their system.
Do we have to know somebody?
Pretty much. I mean, I've emailed them their stupid form a few times. If you're listening, Spotify, help us out, hook us up, okay? Because no one is responding to me.
One day, Google will buy them.
Yeah, that's true. As a side note, though, we are on every other platform, so search us on your podcast app. Mm-hmm. Or on your iPhone on the iTunes podcast thing. And leave a review.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then even though, this podcast's not really about gaming, but one can't ignore the E3 icon, if you're this week.
Yeah.
On
it's
YouTube.
Been all over my feed.
Yeah. E3, for the sake of other people, maybe haven't heard of it before, but it's basically like a showcase of games and like the kind of like technology industry that are somehow involved in video games.
It's basically the biggest video game show of the year.
Yeah. So good that there's been some funny highlights in the past of, don't know if you remember when, was it Nintendo or another big company launched their first like console? So imagine like the Game Boy or whatever. Then they did all this talk about how it can do this, it can do that, and it was like $3.99 at the very end. Then Sony come in with their PlayStation, and they don't talk about anything. They just go $2.99, and they walk off stage, and everyone was clapping.
Really,
it's such a meme as well. Like $2.99. I wonder if that's got anything to do with PewDiePie's $3.99. But anyway,
that's so
it
good.
was so amazing. That's the best press conference ever. Like, I swear it was even like not the CEO, but like a very top dog director. And
that's smart, you know. It is smart. He probably knew beforehand what it cost. And he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna screw these guys.
This is gonna be amazing."
Yeah.
So yeah, E3 they show a lot of games. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of trailers to those games.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of trailers as well.
So weird how games have just become like almost like movies with now good graphics and storytelling and voice actors.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. It's like the new. I heard someone saying on another podcast the other day. I think it might have been the H3 podcast even. No. I think it was Total Biscuit's podcast.
Right.
The new one they're doing, obviously, without him. But they're just saying video games are one of the biggest forms of art that we have in today's modern society. The other forms are, so it's basically video games, movies, and TV, really. Like, that's the biggest forms of art. I mean, you could throw advertising in there. I would argue, anyway, you can throw advertising in there as well. But,
interesting, yeah.
You know, that's a bit dubious, because art is kind of... Okay, we're getting too deep now, but art is kind of for art's sake. Advertising, you know, has a very different purpose. But then again, so does selling movies and games. Anyway,
that is true, though.
You get the gist of it, but yeah, it's pretty interesting, because if you look at games these days, it's not even like they don't all have to have like insanely good graphics. Like the graphics aren't that good, but they are aesthetically like really impressive.
Yeah, they can catch anybody's eye. Yeah, even your parents who never played a game before. Yeah, it's like a photograph in a really, if it's a really good AAA game that has insane graphics, it's like a photograph versus something that's a stylized painting, which also equally looks absolutely amazing, but is completely different. Yeah. Anyway, but I've been watching a lot of trailers. Yeah. There's some good stuff coming out, but, there's a time and a place for that, and it's not the Hit Pause podcast. No, that will be a different podcast. We'll see about that. I'm trying to think of a game pun, but I'll leave it to the end of the podcast. Dang. And that's true, because in the last podcast, we didn't have an argument, but we had a bit of a discussion on the Bikini a Day Instagram. Oh, yeah. Did you look it up? No. But doing your research for the podcast. I will add that, because I do need to get my revenge. I'm pretty sure they didn't own their own bikini line, and they were advertising when they started. By the way, for those who didn't hear the last podcast, Bikini a Day is an Instagram account where two girls who are not sisters basically advertise a bikini every day. And it was like, in my head, that was like one of the best ways of making money on Instagram. I mean, it helps that they're good looking. I mean, yeah. Okay, but that's in summary. That's kind of my week. Yeah. Okay, well, I've been on some E3 stuff as well, some games. Not so much music, really. To be honest, I haven't had that much time to watch a lot of YouTube this week. I have been watching this model who's now started her own YouTube channel. She barely posts. Like, she posts very rarely, but she makes some really interesting stuff. Like, her name is Sarah McDaniel. And I mean, obviously, she's really beautiful, but that's not really the point. The stuff that she makes is so interesting. She makes these stop motion videos where she'll get a famous talk on some usually kind of space type
thing, like Carl Sagan or something like that, talking about space. And she stop motion animates this doll of a bunny sitting on a cloud. And it's just kind of trippy and weird.
Which works really well with what the person's
exactly,
talking about.
Yeah. They're like sitting on a cloud talking about space. And it's really well animated. And it's all her that does it. Aside from that, she also kind of does some instructional videos on growing mushrooms she did recently. She's done others just talking about space and stuff. So I don't know what, maybe she studied or something, but she seems to be quite knowledgeable about space, but also about not biology, the one that's about plants, like herbology or whatever.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
But
this kind of like ties in well because like in the last podcast and like there's even some links in the description. Like I feel like you're on a vaporwave kind of mood and like stuff that's not necessarily trippy, but like can make you get into that mood of thinking and like your senses are more aware. That
is actually, I kind of am on that. Like that's been my sort of YouTube style for a couple of weeks now. Just sort of. Vibing of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kind of just get in the zone and like get some. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey.
But anyway, her videos are pretty cool. But she's only actually. I really recommend you go and follow her. I found her videos off Instagram where I think she's got a few 100,000, maybe million plus subs on Instagram. We're not an Instagram podcast. We don't know. But on...
Well, clearly, if you're going to say subs for Instagram instead of followers.
Yeah, whatever. But on YouTube, she's only got like a few thousand followers. So, it's just kind of... I really recommend you check it out and see what you think. 1,000 followers, in fact. So she definitely deserves some more because she does put effort into the stuff that she makes. But she's only made about 5 videos, something like that. But yeah, definitely recommend that. That is quite good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I also saw Chris Pratt on Smosh. So that Smosh have a game show called You Posted That, and they basically get guests to come, but all the guests are usually YouTubers, and they just go through their like Twitter, their Instagram, and then they like try and
embarrass them.
Sometimes embarrass.
They pick out like the worst thing.
Yeah, and they have to like fill in what they said as a tweet back in 2014.
Really?
Or like explain this or match your thumbnail with the caption. So which is really good because it kind of points out YouTubers and their clickbait. It's
calls them out. That's good.
So clearly you couldn't tell what this video was about because of how abstract and wrong it was. But yeah, so that's normally their format. But they got Chris Pratt. They just did like a little bonus episode. And I don't know, I found it. So I did talk about how Ryan Reynolds was on a YouTube video with Jacksepticeye a while ago, promoting Deadpool 2. He is great in front of camera, and I assume Chris Pratt is as well. But in that video, he was kind of like, not shy. He was definitely confident.
Really?
He was just really quiet. More quiet than I know Chris Pratt would be. So it's just one of those that I wonder, like, do you think actors see YouTube different?
Yeah, it's weird, because it is like a new... thing. It's
still a camera, but I guess the setup is a lot different.
You said it was on Smosh, right?
Yeah, Smosh's channel.
I mean, presumably they have a pretty professional setup.
Yeah, and they've had Jennifer Lawrence on before, and like it's not like they're just a big YouTube channel, but our children deep down they are professional.
Incidentally, we're actually covering Smosh next week.
Yeah, this was a teaser, clearly.
This is obviously a teaser, yeah. After a recommendation or suggestion by one of our listeners. So if anybody listening does have any more suggestions on who you'd like to hear us talk about, who you'd like us to cover, then let us know. Let us know your thoughts on them as well, because it's always interesting to get some other inputs in here.
Yeah, we're only just 2 guys here. There's more opinions.
But yeah, it's kind of weird that he was shy or whatever. I don't get it.
Yeah. He wasn't basically not as vocal as a guest.
Maybe he was just like, the f am I doing here?
This is my career.
I'm I'm a big movie star, you know.
Which is actually this exact same line, because I was watching Whose Line Is It Anyway, which is an old
that's a good show.
Old TV show. Well, it's still running, but I was watching an old episode where they just do improv on stage, and I watched the episode where is it Ray Williams? No. What is the guy? Robin Williams.
Oh, Robin Williams.
Robin Williams, who obviously has passed away, but he was on the show.
No way!
And
that's cool.
They did a thing of like, they just pick out suggestions from the audience, and it's like, what is Robin Williams thinking right now? And it was like, this is my career. What am I doing here? It's like, it's so true. When a big celebrity comes to a show not as big as them, it's like, kind of makes sense with the Chris Pratt thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but yeah, it's great that we can see celebrities on YouTube channels anyway. So that's a plus.
I've never really watched much of Smosh actually, but I don't know, I'm kind of intrigued.
Yeah.
All right, so should we move on to our first ever liked videos?
Yeah, it's almost like first crush in school.
Let me go for first because I'm pretty sure yours is going to be more embarrassing.
Yeah, of course.
From the teaser I had earlier of it. But my first one was actually, it's not even a music video. It's literally just someone put two songs together. This song by a band called Rat-a-tat, who kind of make electronic-y, sort of dancey music. A song called Track. I think it's just called Track 1 by Rat-a-tat. And Intergalactic by Beastie Boys. Literally, they haven't even done any mixing, really. They just put Intergalactic on the left channel speaker and Rat-a-tat on the right channel speaker. So actually, if you listen to it with one headphone, you only hear one of the songs.
That's actually...
It's so budget.
That is budget, but kind of cool. Now it is.
Yeah. But because the Rat-a-tat song was never actually properly released, so I don't know, it's kind of weird because it's actually a really good song, but anyway, it works super well as a mashup.
I gotta say though, for your first liked video to be a music video, one has to ask, did you have MTV back then? Or like, what made you go onto YouTube for a song?
I'll tell you exactly what. That mix, although it's badly done, that is the only place where you can find that mix. It doesn't exist on Spotify. It doesn't exist anywhere else. That is the one place where it exists.
Do you know what year you liked it? Since obviously the video is not the same to...
It must have been... so the video was posted in 2006. I must have liked it based on my next liked video, which was posted in 2009. I think I must have liked it around 2009.
Wow.
Which is old school YouTube. In fact, it's funny. The thing that really strikes me, going back to those old ones, is the quality, man. The quality is so bad.
But you have an eye for that. That doesn't bother me as much.
It doesn't bother me, but it's just looking at it, I'm like, ugh. No, it does bother me. But you know what? Screw it. It does bother me. But the second,
squint.
So my second liked video is this really good comedy video of three cops pretending they found a dead body and
that one is really good. I'm glad you showed me.
Yeah, we're gonna link that one actually, but just the thing is just the quality. Like, it's amazingly bad. And thing is, YouTube back in those days wouldn't even support higher quality videos. There was a limit, you know. Yeah. I mean, they're obviously filming something on a film camera. No film camera is that bad. Like. So it's just weird going back. And back in the day, it looked great.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't bat an eyelid.
And you would say that so it is obviously a comedic video. Obviously, we'll link it in. But I think the world's kind of taken a full circle because it is comically bad. But then now times have changed where bad humor is good humor.
Yeah,
when it's just either overly sarcastic or just like when people act dumb, but people like that. But back then, it'll be like, get smart or get with
Yeah.
So it does work now. It hasn't aged, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's so weird because it still only has, what was it, 75,000 views, something like that. But those videos back in the day, again, just didn't get the views like they do today.
Yeah.
YouTube is not as much of a thing. They weren't as good at getting content out there. And
in a way, doesn't that, okay, I get that there was less people on YouTube to watch it back then, but because there's also less videos, you would hope that proportion.
Yeah, and especially because a video like that has been on the platform for so long.
Every
just
new
building
person surely
up,
should have found it.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously not. Just there's so much getting added to YouTube every day that it's just
I wish some of these old videos had the PewDiePie effect of like you just go in and like that's one of the ones because there's not that much to see, and then a new account comes and because the previous person watched it, you see it.
Well, I remember years ago the top viewed video on YouTube. And I remember...
that's the thing. I don't know why.
And it's really weird because I remember, again, years ago, people talking about PewDiePie and saying he's the biggest YouTuber, but then going on the most viewed list on YouTube and seeing that the top video wasn't his and just being really confused. The top video for a long time as well was called Evolution of Dance. And it was
I do know this video. Yeah,
it was like a low budget video of someone on stage just doing this dance where they just do lots of different dance styles all in one. So like a few seconds of each one. Like they're doing the robot, then they're doing boogie, then they're doing the waltz.
Slowly growing to like what kids watch now.
Yeah, exactly. To the dab.
Yeah.
It's probably dabbing at the end.
Yeah, kind of like this podcast, to be honest.
Yeah. But it's just
now it has to clearly be a music video, right?
Yeah, it will be. But it seems unfair to me to include music videos and that stuff. But you're right, it will be. But I mean, you get Taylor Swift with like billions.
Yeah, not even a sweat.
It's ridiculous. So that's my first one. I'm not embarrassed of it. It's still a good song even now.
Yeah,
even though the sound is a bit weird.
Yeah, but definitely that is it called First Wave? The video we were talking about that's like just really funny. Your second video.
Oh yeah. The one of the guys who are acting as cops.
Yeah, and pretending.
Yeah, we'll drop the link for that. I'll drop the link for the music mix as well. But both are good.
Yeah.
So what about you? What was your first liked?
Well, my first liked and definitely was second year of uni. I do remember this because I don't know about you, but back in uni or maybe just when I had more time, I would be more into watching TV shows than like YouTube was never a thing.
Yeah, I got you.
I feel like I was obviously a bit late to it, but then to me, YouTube was just a place to like either access quick answers to stuff like, oh, how do you pronounce this before like Google Translate and all this stuff came in, or stuff related to exams or this funny cat video or like, you know, that Jackass kind of era of just silly stuff like people getting hit in the crotch like after falling off a bike.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. It was all YouTube was only for the viral videos.
Yeah, literally.
Like there's the latest cat video on there. There's the guy getting hit in the nuts. Yeah. There's the chocolate rain guy. There's do you remember Dramatic Chipmunk?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was an old one. Also, Leave Britney Spears Alone.
Yeah.
They covered them in a South Park episode once, but it was like, okay, there's a new viral video that's going viral, and going viral was a thing.
Yeah.
But now, everybody goes viral.
Yeah.
Post a Fortnite video and it goes viral.
Yeah, YouTube was like the explore section of Instagram. You know, like it was just like stuff that people are watching. Yeah. It's got nothing to do with series. There's no like continuity with like any of the channels. It wasn't even channels. It was just accounts.
It's just like some random video goes wild. Loads of people come on, watch it, and they don't really watch anything else.
Yeah. And there would probably be no like interaction with the guy who made it. It's just like the person who made it just feels proud at the end of the day. Yeah. Good times. But now it's all about the money.
It's actually interesting because back in those days, I would not follow people. I don't even know if you could, but I wouldn't come back and watch someone's content.
Yeah, exactly.
Like even if you look through my whole list of likes, it's such a random selection.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, come on for this, watch this random video. Whereas now it's like, you come on for a person or
which is a
thing.
good thing.
And yeah, it's a good thing.
It's definitely one of the positives of how evolution.
It's got
YouTube.
downsides though.
It's got downsides
because it's like it is fun having completely weird random videos, but you know it's just the way it goes. But anyway, sorry. What's your?
Oh yeah, so second year of uni. Don't know why. Maybe there's a game called Saints Row, which is well, I don't even know how to describe it. Just a game where you just basically go around a city and just do random stuff.
It's basically GTA, but sillier.
Yeah, definitely just meant to be silly. It's even banned in Australia.
Yeah. You can grab dildos and beat people up with them.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. Yeah. And obviously, back in uni, you have that weekend. Why not? So I don't know how, but for some reason, my first liked video is watching a recording of someone who goes to E3, kind of like what we were talking about earlier, where this game was being showcased, and the best way they thought of advertising it was to have models dress up in Saints Row bikinis, and they just had a car wash, and so this guy with this 1080p camera, which I was like, whoa, 1080p? What? It's like I'm on even YouTube? There. Yeah, I know I did watch this video quite late though, 2011. Mm-hmm. So I even asked Google the other day when 1080p became a thing.
Oh wow!
I still don't quite know, but yeah, good quality, and it was just like.
So what you're saying is your first liked video is a bunch of girls in bikinis washing cars.
It was actually more about the guy's experience of what you just said.
I was just here for the learning experience. I just wanted to hear about the game.
Exactly, advertising at its best. And then a couple of videos after that, they're not really... I think I liked them by accident. The next one I know I liked with intention was mainly because I left... because I used to watch this show in America, but it never got, I guess, released or allowed or broadcasted in England. It was called G4. It's just a huge network of showing stuff about tech, stuff about games, blah, blah, blah. Then they decided to make a YouTube channel, and one of their shows was called Attack of the Show. Hosted by...
I have heard of that.
Yeah, hosted by like Kevin Pereira and Candice Bailey. Still remember their names. And they just did a video of like summarizing the Oscars in like 10 seconds and all this weird stuff, which it was my first experience of like humor and like personality into a video rather than just a clip of something that's just happened. So yeah,
that's the thing. That's the difference between then and now, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's funny because on watching that show back in 2008, they were like, yeah, YouTube's gonna become TV soon, just you watch. And that was like Kevin's line. I was like, yeah, right. But then if you look at it now, you gotta agree.
I don't know. Dude, I don't know.
You watch it more than actual TV, though.
Yes, but it hasn't become TV.
No, but it's become the new TV.
Yes. Okay. Yes. But YouTube themselves are trying so hard to make it into the old TV. Do you know all they're doing with the YouTube Red series and things? So these are like Netflix originals.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're funded by YouTube. They're by big creators. And they're original, and you can't find them anywhere else.
You gotta pay.
They're only on YouTube, and you gotta pay for it.
Yeah.
They're trying. They want it to be something that has episodes. Is you come back, one gets released every week, like a TV show, you know, with a storyline and a thing, and blah blah blah.
And tune in.
And they're trying so hard, and it's just not working because all the content they're making in that way is just bad.
Yeah, I can't say there's anything on YouTube Red other than the occasional movie that I'm like, oh, I would love to watch this series.
But it's tough because YouTube has a real trouble making money.
But sometimes you fail anyway. So like, you know, I don't know if Netflix has ever failed. Did their first Netflix original movie?
They make lots of originals now.
Yeah,
but and only some of them are good.
Yeah, exactly. Some bad ones you just forget about.
Plenty of bad ones. Yeah. But yeah, it's just They're trying too hard to be a TV show, I think.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to do it before somebody else steals the idea.
Yeah, I guess so. But if thing is, like I said, YouTube has a lot of trouble making money. They basically don't make money, but they're owned by Google, so it doesn't really matter because Google has very deep pockets. So they can just it doesn't matter if they're losing £1 million every year because whatever, we'll just cover it. But
and is the entire loss that you're talking about just the infrastructure? Because what is your day-to-day cost other than hosting it, which they would naturally do because they are Google?
Well, the day-to-day cost, is the hosting, but they're Google, but YouTube itself takes up a lot of space because it's all video.
Yeah.
Other than that, Google doesn't need, that's like the biggest stuff that Google is going to host. So it costs them a lot of money in that.
Actually, in comparison to everything else, this is...
But then just in general, all the servers and everything, because you've got billions of people around the world watching videos, and they need it to load like that.
Yeah.
They've said before, this is a quote from them basically, not word for word, but it's a quote.
Yeah.
They said, if a user sees that buffering symbol, we failed.
Yeah, I remember that.
Which is, fair point. So that's expensive. Not to mention they have a huge team in the YouTube offices working on YouTube behind the scenes. So it costs a lot of money and they lose a lot of money each year because they're just not that profitable. But they're trying hard and some of it, is screwing up creators and some of it isn't. Which actually brings us on to our bit of news.
What are we, PewDiePie now?
Yeah.
It's the segment of
news. I quite like that as our intro sound.
And everyone stops listening.
Recently, YouTube has been testing, I'm going to say, a new feature in very strong quote marks. I'm doing them now. Aren't I, David?
I can't see them, but carry on.
David's lying. And they are messing about with a subscription feed. So when you subscribe to videos right now, they appear in chronological order that they were posted in your subscription box.
The way it should be. This is America.
Okay, yes. Thanks, Donald Glover. That is how I felt originally, but I've heard some new viewpoints which have kind of made me question it. But basically, people are saying, this is terrible because the way they want to order it is essentially whatever videos you click on most. So they'll use an algorithm to decide, if I'm always clicking on Smosh's videos in my sub feed, they're going to start putting those ones towards the top above other stuff, even if it was posted more recently. The reason being that for YouTube, it results in more watch time because they know you watch more Smosh videos than other stuff. So we'll show you those first. Okay?
Yeah.
So this is bad because we come to the sub box so we can see when someone's posted a new video. And if somebody doesn't post in 5 weeks, and then they do, I want to be able to see that at the top.
Exactly.
And I don't know if you remember, but Instagram and Facebook did this, not so long ago. Both Instagram and Facebook are no longer chronologically ordered.
Okay, yeah, that.
So there was a huge uproar for both of them when this happened because everyone was like, well, I just want to see what's happening most recently. And now you're just deciding what to show me based on your algorithms, and it's just lame.
Yeah, once again, you don't know me.
You don't know me.
You don't know how I butter my toast.
Your algorithms don't know me. I want to see buttered toast memes in my sub feed when they get released.
The sad thing is, I kind of agree with this, but I don't want it on YouTube. I would love that on Snapchat. It's fine on Facebook, mainly because I don't use them that much. And it makes sense. Mm-hmm. Maybe because I treat YouTube more seriously and I am particular about making sure I've caught up to date with everyone that I made sure I subscribe to because I'm obviously particular about it. As long as this is a feature, fine, but it should not be the default. But we know Google and YouTube love to make it one at the end, like they did with their comment section.
Yeah, so here's the thing. They have only so far tested it on a small group of users. And they have said in a statement that there'll be a an option button to turn it on and off between the two ways
for 5 months.
Yeah, and then they're going to make it the default, and then they're going to get rid of it.
Let me tell you how this user group
That's
works.
what happens.
All right, calling all 5-year-olds. Do you want to see more Jake Paul because you watch a lot of Jake Paul?
Yes.
Answer was exactly that, and YouTube were like, "You're welcome."
Yeah, exactly. So I completely agree with you, actually, but I have heard an opposing viewpoint. I heard this on the original podcast, which is the one with Penguin Zero, which is another YouTuber.
Yeah.
And the guest that they had on basically said, right now, it being chronological, essentially rewards people that post every single day.
That is absolutely true.
So although I have a person that I like and they only post, say, every 1 month, every 2 months, Jake Paul is, if I'm subbed to him, which I'm not, is going to get pushed to the top of the feed because he posts every day. So I'm more likely to see his videos because he's posting every day. And that's not necessarily good for YouTube because daily posted content is not going to be as high quality as someone that posts every 2, 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
Yeah, which I clearly noticed during this E3 week because I subscribe to like an account called Tetra Ninja, and he does walkplays of video games, but because it's E3, he's just been posting out a lot of like this trailer and that trailer, so it's been clogging it up. So I do see the benefit.
Exactly.
I don't think it outweighs it, but it is a good point.
No, I agree with it being an option.
Yeah,
because that does add an extra layer to things because there's a lot of things. David, you're really careful with your subscriptions. You only sub to people that you're definitely going to watch every one of their videos. I am more open with it. Like, I will watch the occasional lyric video. I watch the occasional dangerously funny video. I watch the occasional clickhole video, but not necessarily all of them. So sometimes I do find myself just scrolling through my feed, trying to find the latest video from so-and-so.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm also in the minority here because I can imagine this is a culture of people loving to scroll through loads. Like I've seen, and I know people who have Facebook and they can scroll for 5 minutes and that's normal to them. Yeah. I want it there and there. That's why I subscribe to only those that I am going to watch to. But I imagine the opposite is much bigger, which makes sense why this is in place because you want to structure it a bit better.
Yeah. I hope that they don't take away the option because that's probably what's going to happen if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, it will result in more watch time, and that's what YouTube cares about because more watch time equals more ads
and less debt.
And less debt, exactly. So, but just make it an option, please.
Yeah. Hey, thanks YouTube.
Thanks for what?
And I just assumed they were listening.
In advance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, any other news?
No, and no.
Well, I think that about wraps it up then. Thank you very much for listening. You can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. You can subscribe to us on your Android app, whichever one you use, apart from Spotify. Fix it, Spotify. And please do leave us a like or whatever, a star. No, leave us 5 stars in the iTunes store.
And for every star, I will say thank you. I don't even know what a star looks like on the Apple Store.
Look, okay, let me just worry about it. But we need those stars. I'm dead serious.
Just like me in school.
Hook us up.
Teacher, please. I worked hard on this essay.
So take your little finger, one click on those 5 stars.
You have to lick your finger before you press it.
Please don't do that. You're going to get a gross iPhone with spit all over it. Just click it, okay?
All right.
It's so easy. Anyway. You can drop a comment on our YouTube channel. You can tweet us. I am whoa. I'm at Glyphix, Gliphyx on Twitter. Tweet me or tweet David, who is
at SoNotDavid.
And let us know if there's someone you want us to cover.
Yeah.
Or if you've got any thoughts on people we have covered.
And you can also stalk my liked videos and tell me how terrible they are.
Ooh, good idea. You won't be able to stalk mine because my YouTube's linked to a different account. So
why are you so complicated? I hate. Why are you so PewDiePie?
All right. Thanks a lot for listening.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.